if getting engaged and then getting unengaged and going back to dating is what works best for us, then I'm like, let's do it.
Congratulations, because season 8 of Chrisley Knows Best is here.
You are going straight to hell.
If I do, it'll be with Tom Ford on. Just because they broke up, there's no reason why Nick and I can't be friends.
Oh my gosh.
What can you tease to fans on what to expect this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a fun season. This season is definitely a little different in my opinion, just because we've truly dug into some deeper issues, and we're kind of letting our guard down a little bit more. And our whole philosophy is kind of, if we can share something that we're going through in order to help others, then that's what we're gonna do. And for me, I go through all my relationship ups and downs, and I talk about struggling with endometriosis and, I turned 23 in August, but I had a doctor tell me, all right, you need to be finished having kids by the time you're 30. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna have 4 kids, I should probably start now. And that's not happening. So we kind of talk about my different options of freezing eggs. And it's just, we go into some real life issues, and I enjoy that because at the end of the day, we go through them, but we find some way to laugh through them, cry through them. It doesn't always have to be negative. Like I said, it's kind of all about your mindset. So
you mentioning the struggles that you're facing and those conversations with doctors. I mean, I feel like, gosh, since season 1, I feel like fans have really grown up with you and now experiencing this part of adulthood. I mean, can you believe that it's been 8 seasons already?
I know, it's so crazy. And that's the hard part, is people still comment on my social media, oh my gosh, did you ask your dad if you can wear that? Or did you ask him if you can go there? And I'm like, y'all, I am not 15 years old anymore.
I am an adult. I am a woman.
Yeah, so it's hard for people to grasp that we are young adults and trying to find our way. So I hope this season truly does kind of force people into that mindset of seeing, whoa, they've grown up.
Yeah. When will you guys know when it's time to turn off the cameras?
I think that's just a decision that we will make as a family when that time comes. Right now, I mean, for me, I'll speak for me. I just feel like there's so much more that I want people to see, and that throughout it all, I learn through it, and I want people to see my kids. I want people to see that journey. So it's just, I'll go as long as the opportunity's there. But who knows? That could always change.
Season 8 really kind of shows your relationship with Nick, and obviously calling off your engagement, postponing the wedding, and then kind of moving forward after that. Will this part of your life be hard to watch back on TV now?
I was just thinking about that this morning, and I don't know if I'm gonna watch tonight's episode, just because it is hard seeing how we've kind of gone back. We're not going forward with a wedding. We're not, right now we're not. So it's hard to watch that on TV. And the hard part too is people only see 30 minutes of something, and they don't know the whole story. So they love to come at you on social media, be hateful, and kind of give their opinions where they're not really needed. So it's hard. It is going to be hard watching it all back, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel. As of now, I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but we'll see.
Obviously, you were supposed to get married this past May with Nick, and I noticed there was a few sweet Instagram posts between you two recently. How are things going?
We're just, right now, it's just been such a challenging time, because of COVID. I feel like right now it's the year for divorces, and so through COVID, I'm like, dear gosh, everyone's splitting up. But right now, I'm going to meet him after this. But we're trying to figure it out. And I've said in multiple interviews that our relationship's just kind of been unique to us. And it's hard whenever people are like, okay, you date, you get engaged, you get married. And we just haven't followed that timeline. If getting engaged and then getting unengaged and going back to dating is what works best for us, then I'm like, let's do it. So I feel, and that's a lot of things too, I feel like men and women need to hear is like, you don't have to follow anyone else's timeline. You know, it's based off of what you want. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it was just kind of saying, like, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your life and your decisions. You know, like, you're allowed to have those boundaries, and you're allowed to figure it out for yourselves. And you don't have to make someone else comfortable while making yourself uncomfortable. So that's kind of that's kind of the place that we're in. It's like, we're both doing therapy individually and just trying to figure out our place and what we truly want out of life, and having those hard decisions so we're not part of this whole divorce culture.
And of course, your dad, of all people, wants nothing but the best for you. But he has been so funny in these episodes of this new season of like, it's like his wedding, and he's like, he was taking charge of everything.
The wedding is off, so is the engagement.
What will God do to me for this fashion to go to waste?
Is he still holding out hope for this dream wedding?
I mean, he knows we're eventually gonna have a dream wedding. Now, who knows when it'll happen, but he and I've had my wedding planned out ever, you know?
Yeah.
And so he was a little bummed, and at first he was like, no, you guys can work it out. And then he took a step back and was like, you know what, if this is what's best for you, then I stand by you, and whatever decision you want to make is what we're gonna do. But he was bummed because we had this whole, 3-day wedding weekend planned. So
wow. What was the most lavish thing that you had planned?
me, I'm like, I want my wedding to be a huge party. I want there to be live entertainment. I want people to be performing. I want, I just want it to be a blast. And, I'll definitely have a couple dresses. The dress that I had picked out, got measured for, everything, that's still going to be the one when the day comes.
Good. I love that. Well, in the meantime, I know you've been busy also putting on that businesswoman hat and kind of diving into the world of cosmetics. Your line, Sassy Cosmetics, it's going to be coming out later this year, right?
Yes. So before Christmas, for sure. And I'm so excited. COVID kind of got in the way. It was supposed to be launched a lot earlier, but we wanted to take every precaution necessary. And so I'm excited. It's actually given us some more time to kind of perfect things. And makeup has always been my go-to. And it's just something to where it's like, if I'm feeling bad about myself, I can throw in some makeup and feel a little bit better. So I'm so excited for it. It's gonna, I'm not just gonna release one thing here, one thing there. I'm kind of gonna go full force with a full face palette, lips, eyes, everything. Yeah. So I'm so excited. And too, it was a struggle to just kind of get it to where everything was at an affordable price, because I never want someone to say, oh, well, I saw your line, but I couldn't afford it.
Right.
And so I feel like everything that was important to me, we got accomplished. So I'm excited.
How excited is Chloe for you to have your own line now? Because I will never forget the episode where she comes out of the bathroom and she just got red lipstick all over.
Oh, she's so excited. And she was a huge inspiration for a lot of things, because I wanted to make sure that the colors that I had in my line looked good on every skin tone. And that, it was a challenge. And because, again, I didn't want anyone to feel like it, they wanted it, but they couldn't have it for any reason. And so it was funny because whenever I got my lip shades back, I put them on me, and then I put them on her because she was like, I want to try it. So I put it on her, and she goes, this actually looks better on me than it looks on you. And I was like, okay.
I love it. She's going to be your best tester of everything, because she'll tell you how it is.
She was like, I don't like that. And I was like, gosh, you're just a little harsh.
I love that. Well, speaking of her, I just want to take a moment to tell you how much I respect and admire what you have done recently during the Black Lives Matter movement, because you are one of the many celebrities who actually did speak up and speak out and used your platform to amplify such an important movement. And I know you recently said that you feel like it's your duty to, help bring awareness, especially because your niece is biracial. I mean, how are you and the family having these important conversations with her right now?
Yeah, I mean, we do take racism personally, because we've seen it with Chloe firsthand. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, I understand what people of color have gone through, because there's no way for me to understand that. So right now, I've just taken the time to sit and listen and learn, and then speak up, speak out, and, create action. And right now, I can speak on what's in my heart. And I was raised that, I didn't have that around me. I didn't have racism around me. So right now, I've just taken time just to talk to some of my closest friends who are of color, and to just hear their hardships and their adversities that they've gone through, so that I can better understand it, and also help to teach Chloe. And that's, she's had things said to her at 7 years old, and it truly is heartbreaking, but I feel like now's the time for all of us to come together, stand up, and truly make a difference.
And I love that you mentioned actions, because actions do speak louder than words. And something that you said when you talked about the cosmetics line, making sure that it is available to women and girls of all skin tones. And that's huge, especially, moving forward, and how you can be a leader of change in the position that you're in.
Well, thank you so much.